Welcome back to Mohegan Sun, and welcome back to Swerve Combat. Michael Parenti joined by Sucre Ray Oliveira. You just watched Gianni Ligori get the win in his United States debut, making his first appearance as a pro for CES. Bright future ahead of him. We got more to come right now. We're about to step up to the middleweight division. 6 rounds on the docket tonight for Douglas Marroquin and Jamall Roby. Let's send up to Pat Sullivan, our ring announcer, for the official introduction.
Let's welcome the next fighter to the ring, Jamall Roby.
Making his way to Mohegan Sun from Grenada, Mississippi is Jamall No Limit R.O. Roby. 2-5, 1 win by knockout, and that knockout came not too long ago, right? June 28th, back in Arkansas against Lamar Bolden. He had a first-round knockout victory. Coming in on a bit of a hot streak. He's won 2 of his last 3 since April after starting his career 0-4. So you always got to watch out for these fighters who come in there. They get that confidence, right, after a couple wins. You know what that can do for you as a fighter, right? You almost feel invincible at that point.
Yeah, you definitely do, you know.
Because it's a little intro.
He ain't got 1 win, he got 2 wins, so he's really coming in hard.
And here comes Jamall Roby, 30 years of age, 5'11", right-hander. Looks the part. Should be a very interesting fight. We'll see what he brings to the table. Ray, we've discussed so much about the big 4, the new signees, but Douglas Marroquin is really part of that new wave in general, having signed with CES in 2024. He's now 6-0, 3 of those wins coming by knockout, fighting out of Stamford, Connecticut. Just 26 years of age, good-looking 5'6" right-hander. He comes in fresh off a win on May 10th, unanimous
y aquí nomás levantando la sospecha.
So tonight we get another look at this rising star who has just continued to climb that
pequeño era
ladder.
travieso y con la muerte tumbeo no se encuentro en las calles vivo y junto con mi suerte no me iba a rajar. Sé que en el cielo me hay un ángel y junto con los rezos de mi madre.
And we got the full mariachi band escorting Marroquin to the ring. It's all about putting on a great show, and he managed to do that both in and outside of the ring. And we'll see if he's just as capable inside the ring tonight against a very tough opponent in Jamall Roby. But again, as we said, Ray, Marroquin is someone who's making that steady climb, trying to provide that bright future for CES, part of this new wave of great regional talent. And when you think about it, you go back to 5-10 years ago, that time frame, there aren't a lot of fighters left from that time who are still fighting and active now. It's really a new breed of fighter.
Yeah, it's a weight class that's very wide open. That, you know, there's a lot of good fighters in there. I'd like to see them fight in New England and see who will be the New England champion.
With CES absorbing so much of the young talent, it's only natural that some of these fighters at some point will clash heads in venues like this, on promotions like this. So very exciting, bright future ahead for CES. With that, we're going to send it back to Pat Sullivan, who very shortly will have our official introduction.
Sabor. Fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 164 pounds with a professional record of 2 wins and 5 losses. Hailing from Eupora, Mississippi, Jamall No Limit Roby. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, weighing 165 pounds, with a perfect professional record of 6 wins, no losses, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from the Lock City, Stamford, Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, Douglas Machismo Marroquin.
Gentlemen, you received instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up.
6 rounds in the middleweight division.
I'll tell you what, Ray, you're bringing entourage like that to the ring. You better deliver when that bell rings. Douglas Marroquin bringing out all the stops here. The mariachi band, the full performance. But again, this is part of the show, and he's put on a great one every time he has been in the ring for CES. And looking forward to seeing it again tonight as the bell rings. This one's scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Marroquin in the black trunks, taking on Jamall Roby in the gold and blue.
Roby's a much taller fighter. He has to keep that jab on Joseph. He's got to keep popping that jab on him.
Good 5-inch advantage there. Roby 5'11", Marroquin 5'6", both right-handers.
Marroquin can't follow him. He's got to cut that ring off. But if he doesn't, Roby's going to just outbox him all day with that right jab.
Also worth noting tonight is Marroquin's first scheduled 6-round fight. 5th fight with CES. So he's really spent the majority of his career with this promotion. Again, Ray, I think it goes back to what we talked about with the Pro-Am shows, and CES has really made a concerted effort over the last couple of years of really scouting the amateur market.
Yeah.
Being present at amateur events, visiting the amateur gyms, and just finding out who the next generation of key players are going to be. And they got their hands on that talent right now. And man, it's when you look up and down the roster, so many great young fighters in their mid-20s, all unbeaten, all making the climb. And we've seen them kind of reoccurring at these shows. If you've been watching us religiously on Swerve Combat, you're seeing a lot of the same faces. But this is the future of New England and Northeast boxing, all on display here.
It's not just going to the Olympic trials and seeing all these fighters. You got to make your own shows, your own fights, and get these local fighters that you might get a diamond out of the rough. Someone like Marvin Hagler.
That's where it all starts. Marroquin.
This Marroquin wants to keep Roby on those ropes and keep touching that body.
And he's bringing the pressure to Roby. Roby did a nice job of spinning out of the corner. Eats a stiff jab. Roby trying to just tie up here. I think feeling some of the pressure from Marroquin and not really having an answer, so he's tying him up.
Like I said, Marroquin, he's making the pace. He's taking the pace. He's cutting off the ring, throwing it onto that body, and then swinging back up to the head with either right hand or left hook.
Ooh.
Headbutt.
Little headbutt. Roby goes down. And he signals the same to his corner.
Cut, if both are not. Both are cut, or one of them is cut.
It looks like it's just a swelling over the eye.
Yeah, but you got some blood trickling down on Marroquin.
Now the doctor's going to check it out. Marroquin's busted up. Roby's got a nice abrasion above the left eyebrow. And again, there's also blood. Marroquin cut up pretty badly. It looks like right on the top of the head. They're going to send him back over to his corner. Doctor's going to take a look at it here. So the action comes to a halt. Just 2.5 minutes into round one. You see the blood dripping down the back of Douglas Marroquin.
It's on top of his head.
And sometimes the byproduct, Ray, of the shorter fighter trying to burrow his way in, puts his head down, and they clash. And you can obviously see where they clash. Obviously, Marroquin more worse for the wear than Roby. Roby just has that swelling, that lump over the left eye. Take a look at the replay here.
You see Marroquin, he's low. And
oh, there it is.
That head right on his eye and back of Marroquin's head.
Question now, if they let this continue, they're going to work on him in the corner a bit.
It's on the back of his head. It's really not, nowhere to hit him or blood into his eye. But can they stop the bleeding?
Put a heavy application of the Vaseline on top of the head. And you're right, Ray, it's just right there on the scalp. And they're doing some impromptu surgical work here. Roby just trying to stay warm. Work on his lump as well with the left eye.
Yeah, they're letting both corners work on the cuts.
So a little break in the action here, an unfortunate headbutt. Hopefully this can continue, because it looks like we were in store for a pretty good one here on Swerve Combat. We want to thank you for those of you who have joined us and have spent your Saturday with us here at Mohegan Sun. CES has made an annual tradition each July or August of Brazilian summer heat, and it's a good showcase of the young up-and-coming talent and some of the veteran talent on the roster. And again, as we mentioned, we got some of that veteran talent later on tonight. Anthony Velasquez getting back into the ring in an 8-round bout. Jacob Marrero, one of the 4 new signees, although he's appeared with CS a number of times. It's the first time officially
ours.
Under the banner. That's right. And Wilson Mascarenas, of course, in our highly anticipated main event. 8 rounds as he defends his WBC U.S. Silver Super Lightweight title against Nicholas Tejada from Haverhill, Mass. So plenty more to come.
My little nephew.
Right now we got a slight break in the action here as the doctors work on a couple of cuts. We had a headbutt late in this round. Douglas Marroquin cut up pretty bad on the top of the head. You see that blood dripping down the back. Jamall Roby took it on the left brow. And they're working on him as well in the corner.
Marroquin's caught not in a bad place, but it's above his head where he could, you know, they want to stop the bleeding because it could roll into the eyes. Where Roby, you know, his is much more bad.
Over the eye, right. That's where, you're right, the blood can get in the eye. It's just a matter of containing it here. They're doing a lot of work on that abrasion over Marroquin's head, as you see in the corner. That's tough work, Ray. That's where having a good cut man comes in.
Definitely does. You can see right here, he's coming with his head to throw that right hand, and boom. This happens a lot with lefty-righties and a taller guy and a guy that, you know, wants to come in and work that body.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate byproduct. 2 aggressive fighters going in at the same time, and heads do collide. Ringside physician talking it over with the referee as well. And again, we'll see what happens here. They're going to give him as much time as they need to sort this out. First time I've really seen this, Ray, where they've worked on 2 cuts at the same time in the middle of a round.
Yeah.
It's kind of unprecedented.
My first time I've been in the sport.
And you've been in there for a lot longer than I have.
Yes.
Marroquin signaling to his fans. Give him a round of applause. Trying to keep the crowd energized.
It's kind of strange to me. I never work on the corners this long and not decide to either fight or not fight.
And I'm not sure, you know, I'd have to dig into the old boxing rule book to see if there is any sort of precedent for something like that.
There is.
How much time do they give you in a situation like this?
Not this much time. Not this much time.
Well, first time for everything. Looks like the Roby corner has done all they can with Roby's cut, and it wasn't as deep, but again in a different spot, arguably in a worse spot for Roby.
I mean, the thing with Marroquin is, can it stop? Like I said, it's above the head. You know, you're not getting punched there, but if it doesn't stop, they might stop the fight.
Now, it looks like we're going to continue. They've patched up Marroquin pretty good, kind of like a NASCAR pit stop. They did their work, and it looks like they've taped it up pretty nice, and so the bell's going to ring, and here we go. And the good news is, if there is any, that there are only 30 seconds to go in this round, so it just gives you more time to get right back and work on that cut again.
Yes.
Get another full minute. We'll see if both fighters maintain the aggressiveness they showed in the early parts of round 1 after the headbutt. Nice overhand right there by Roby.
You know, am I a dirty guy? Yeah. If I was Roby, I'll keep hitting that cut with my right hand on his head.
Oh, nice action there at the bell. So 30 seconds go by quickly. Roby and Marroquin will get ready for round number 2. And again, we saw that headbutt in that opening round really did some damage to both fighters, more so for Marroquin on the top of the scalp. Yes. And if anything, it just kind of brought the action to a screeching halt. You had a long layoff. Guys can get a little tight, sometimes a little tense in between that.
Your sweat leaves. You're more worried about the cut on your head. They're going to stop the fight. If I was Roby, I'll keep hitting Marroquin on top of the head. I mean, is it wrong for me to say? Yeah, but if I'm in the corner, I'm telling them to do it.
That's part of the game, though, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it definitely is.
And we'll see how Douglas Marroquin adjusts. Again, he's the shorter fighter trying to work his way in against the taller Jamall Roby. You're talking about a 5-inch height advantage, and that's what he was trying to do when that headbutt occurred. I think Roby kind of lowered his body, lowered his head, and that's where the contact occurred. So, again, it's just a clash of headbutts and a clash of styles. Clash of heads, rather.
The weird thing to me, who you got winning that round? I gave it to Marroquin.
All right, round number 2 underway. Once again, you're joining us on Swerve Combat. Michael Parenti and Sucre Ray Oliveira bringing you all the action. And you're watching Douglas Marroquin in the black trunks taking on Jamall Roby in the blue and gold. Round 2 of a scheduled 6-round bout in the middleweight division. Massive headbutt stalled the action in round 1, but we are patched up and underway for round 2.
Good defense. Back to the center. There we go, like that. There we go.
See, all Roby got to do is just keep on them toes and keep bouncing. Marroquin, I don't know why he's desperate. He's jumping in. Maybe he knows that cut is bad and not going to stop. You can see the blood still leaking down.
That's a good point, Ray. It does bring out the sense of urgency. Now that blood is facing forward.
That body shot was birdie and came back up to the left of the head.
However, Marroquin building up some momentum. He may have to try to empty the tank here because this cut could be a problem. But he's got Roby against the ropes right now. Roby just can't get his way out.
Marroquin is going to stay patient. Don't rush in and do another headbutt.
Marroquin trying to find that footing and keep that poise while knowing he's got an opportunity here and maybe on borrowed time with that cut as well. Roby, a wild swing and a miss. 90 seconds going around. Big right hand,
over the top,
right uppercut.
and a body shot.
Roby in some trouble. He's just trying to cover up and get out of the way. Marroquin's got him against the ropes. So an interesting turn of events here.
Beautiful left uppercut by Marroquin.
Marroquin cutting the ring off wonderfully, not letting Roby get out of that corner. He's got him against the ropes. Roby just covering up. He's not answering as Marroquin unloads rights and lefts to the body. And that's going to do it. They're going to stop the fight. What a victory for a bloodied and battered Douglas Marroquin. That is an iconic shot if I've ever seen one. Douglas Marroquin with the blood dripping down his face from the cut over the scalp, and he scores the knockout victory. You want to talk about perseverance? You saw it all here tonight.
He definitely did with a cut over the head. People don't understand. Like I said, it's a cut over the head, but those are the ones that hurt. When you get hit, they hurt. And he was desperate saying, let me just get this guy out of here.
And we weren't sure if the blood would go forward or backward. Obviously went forward. If you look at the replay here, you see Marroquin's face.
It's just dripping down his face.
But as he found his footing and he found the opening, he hurt Roby early in the round and just never took his foot off the gas.
No, he was desperate. He got caught. And that shows you, that he's posed. He's ready.
It's just smart boxing. I think, like you said, Ray, he saw the sense of urgency. They're not going to let him continue with this cut.
No.
They may stop this fight. It's going to go to the cards or it becomes a no contest, depending on what round we're in. Yeah, I have an opportunity now. I'm going to get him out of here. And he did just that.
It was an accidental headbutt. So if it don't go for 4 rounds, it's no decision.
So fantastic performance for Douglas Marroquin, fighting through the adversity of a nasty cut on the scalp, getting the knockout victory, and doing it probably just before things could have gotten even bloodier or worse for him. So a great victory. We're going to send it up to Patrick Sullivan, our ring announcer, who has all the particulars.
Seconds in round number 2 for your winner and still undefeated Douglas Machismo Marroquin.
There we go. Douglas Marroquin with a 2nd round knockout. He was desperate. He came out, he got that W out of there, and he got the win he needed.